One.
Welcome to Saturday Sauna Night. I'm Kyle.
I'm Steve. I still have my sunglasses on my head.
How many of you know what a Cudighi is?
Give it a minute.
Okay. It's a very strangely unique sandwich, and if you're from Marquette County, you probably know what it is. Otherwise, you probably don't. I don't think I've ever seen one outside of Marquette County. So that's kind of going to be the focus of today's episode. We have two Cudighis, and we're going to compare them by some criteria we haven't really talked about yet.
Yeah, we'll go where our hearts lead us. So, we have two Cudighis, and I really want to eat these things, so I'm not going to talk too much, but it's a sandwich that's specific to Marquette County. I think maybe there are some joints in like Iron River, Iron Mountain area, southwestern UP that offer this. It's basically, if you don't know what it is, you'll see one in a minute. But it's essentially a Italian sausage patty on a bun. Different places will do their own variation of the bread. It's got kind of a unique mix of spices that kind of make it different from Italian sausage you would buy at any grocery store. And I guess the last thing to say is that the origins are a little murky. It originated in Ishpeming, as far as I can tell, and the original way of serving it was actually sliced up like an Italian sausage. But then I forget the name of the restaurant or the person who was doing this, but they started flattening them into a patty and serving them on a kind of a hard, crusty roll with mustard and raw onion, and that's kind of the original way to do it. Since then, most places now do it as more of a pizza style. They'll put tomato sauce and cheese and mushrooms and onions and things like that.
It's the right way to do it.
And so, just like the pasty debate, right? What do you eat on your pasty? Ketchup, gravy, nothing. Cudighi, it's not as hotly debated, but there's kind of two ways to do it. So you can do it kind of the original way, the mustard, raw onion. Some places will do mustard and ketchup and raw onion, and then there's the pizza style with the mozzarella cheese and pizza sauce and that. So we have our two Cudighis today. We sort of just picked. I don't know why we picked these two. So this first one, a nice little mini pizza box here. This is from Teal Pizzeria, which is probably one of the newest restaurants and pizza joints in our area.
Not too long ago, that was Paisano's.
Yeah, so it's right on the shore of Teal Lake. They actually have a really cool building there. Like, if you want to go there and eat on their deck, you can eat right on the water on Teal Lake. Which might not be the nicest thing in November, but during the summer, that could be a nice little romantic dinner. So Teal Lake Pizzeria, they have a drive-thru you can order online. This is theirs. The other one here, which we'll unpackage these in a minute, this is actually from Lawry's Pasties. So they're not as famous for their Cudighis. They're always ranked consistently in the top for pasties in the UP. But they do have Cudighis on their menu and some other different hot sandwiches. And so, without further ado, we're going to cut into these things. We talked about criteria a little bit. Some things that came up were, first, packaging. So, not the biggest deal in the world, but I guess I just want to go on the record and say I really like the little pizza box. It's really sturdy. It's nice if you're carrying it. Downsides, these never fit in your garbage can nicely. They're hard to break down. And, if I was gonna like throw this in a bag and save it for later, it would be kind of awkward. But I really like the sturdiness of it. Lawry's kind of went with the original, you know, kind of just like a sandwich bag here, which is all good.
I just got a text a couple minutes ago saying my order is ready for pickup. So
Oh,
my
okay.
Teal Lake pizza order.
Did you have more on your order?
No.
All right. What else did we want to give for criteria? We talked about maybe like value. So like, you know, how big of a sandwich is it for the price? So what was the price for this one?
Well, it'll depend on sandwich size too. I was saying we should do this by weight, but we don't have a scale. Pounds per dollar, but this was a $9 sandwich.
Even?
Yeah, before the tip, yeah.
Okay. This is $9.23, but I got like a 50-cent discount because I work next door. So it was actually $8.80 something. So pretty much we'll call that a toss up. About $9 for either of these. All right, let's get into how they look. Here, I'm gonna give you this one since you bought it.
We might do this with other Cudighis in the future too, or stuff like that. But it doesn't have to be Teal Lake or.
Yeah, these are just the two we started with.
Lawry's.
I kind of wanted to do some of the OG Cudighi joints that are kind of famous for that. So the Congress in Ishpeming, Tino's in Nagani, Ralph's in Ishpeming. He's got a freaking tape measure. All right. So two very different sandwiches here.
Interesting.
The Lawry's, and I've had these before. They're a long, flat roll, but they're more oblong. These are both good-sized sandwiches.
This one looks like they put some effort into spicing the bun, and it looks like they might have even grilled the bun a little bit.
Yeah.
A 5-inch diameter.
I've had this one before, and I haven't seen it like this. This must be a new thing. It looks nice.
So there's some customization available. I didn't go for any of it, but you can pick whatever toppings you want. You can pick substitutes for bread, whether you want sauce or not. So this is the original, how it comes.
Yeah.
But
Well, with the Lawry's, you can add extra toppings. I just got it the way it comes, which is pizza sauce, onions, and cheese. I'll say this one looks fancier, but I don't know. You can decide for yourself whether that's a quality you look for in a Cudighi. For most Yoopers, the answer is going to be I don't care about that. Slightly different toppings too, right? That one has.
I'm trying to figure that out. I see onions, maybe green peppers,
I think there's green peppers on there.
pizza sauce, mozzarella cheese, your typical Cudighi toppings if you do it the right way. And there is a right way.
Well, we're going to try the classic from the Congress, which has ketchup, mustard, and pizza sauce. Actually, it has all three. So, do we want to just do halves, or do you want me to cut this again and do like quarters of this thing for the taste test?
You can just cut a small piece. I'm not going to
All
sit and eat a full sandwich
No.
right now.
That would be fun. Alright. So, I'll take this part. You take that part. Okay, so we'll start with the Lawry's. I don't know, just initial reactions, maybe on flavor, texture. I like the flat, kind of compressed bun. Here's a nice cross section. Get that up on the camera there.
Sandwich dimensions are pretty important.
Ooh, so you know what? I just noticed this too. We got sauce and cheese on both sides.
Symmetry.
So, yeah, this is really nice. So the meat
Humans
is
like symmetry.
sandwiched nicely between two layers of cheese and onion and sauce. So let's go for this.
Not too bad.
Mm-hmm. One of the classic spices you taste right away in a Cudighi, and this is a really good Cudighi. Like you can't. We're reviewing these, but you can't go wrong with this. This is really good. But one of the flavors you'll pick out instantly is cinnamon, which is a little weird. That is one of the spices in most Cudighi recipes. Um, but there's a nice blend of sweet and spicy. And some places will do mild, medium, and hot. If you want a hotter Cudighi, they'll add cayenne pepper and different things to it. Um, this is really good. I don't really know how to rank it otherwise. Um, I'm not crazy about the bread on this one. I like how it's flat, easy to hold. That flavor I could take or leave. But the meat itself, which is probably the most important part, is really, really good. I guess I don't know. I mean, just picking a number out of the air, I'd maybe give it like an 8 out of 10.
Alright.
It's so subjective.
No, I like how compact it is too on, I don't know, the z-axis.
Listen to this engineer over here talking about 3 dimensions.
If
By the
you've
way,
ever been in a restaurant and you eat a sandwich that's too tall and you can't really bite it,
this
there's
is nice. It's
not
easy.
much you can do.
It's easy to hold. It's compact.
They
even
did
though
it
it's
right.
big. Yep.
Instead of expanding the sandwich this way, they make it into a plane.
The other thing is, by the way, our palate cleansers here. I just want to shout out Sprecher Root Beer in hopes that they'll sponsor us when we get huge someday. It's not made in Michigan. It's made in Wisconsin. But hey, I like Wisconsin too. They have some good stuff like Sprecher Root Beer and cheese.
Yeah.
The other thing about Cudighis is you're not gonna go hungry. It's a very hearty sandwich, just like getting a pasty is, but with a little bit of Italian flair. Right. I cook it a meatball. So, final thoughts on this. I think it's really well done. There's nothing like particularly unique about it, but I think that's okay because it's a Cudighi. It's not, mint braised lamb chops at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant. What do you think? If you had to give it a score out of 10, just subjective.
I don't like to do that. I would compare it to getting a cheeseburger at Applebee's. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like that one time where you cooked out bacon cheeseburgers in the backyard and it was like the best thing you've ever tasted, but it's a pretty good cheeseburger.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, again, most people don't go to Lawry's for the Cudighi. It's a very solid Cudighi. Most people go to Lawry's for the pasties, and maybe another week we'll do a pasty review. But, yeah, well done. Very good. Definitely not gonna go hungry. Let's cut into this other one. I'm gonna just put this back over here for now. Get this guy out of the way. Alright, so Teal Lake, again, this is a newer player to the Cudighi game. They're actually primarily a pizza restaurant. So, a little different. They're primarily pizza, whereas Lawry's is primarily pasties. They have some really unique pizzas, too. I had one with buffalo chicken and hot Cheetos on it. That was quite good. Let's just do quarters again with this, hey?
So at first glance, it looks like it's a thicker Cudighi patty, but the sandwich is slightly smaller in terms of surface area.
Yeah, it is definitely thicker. This is more like a burger quality, for sure. You can smell the green pepper, which I'm a fan of green pepper. If you don't like that, which some people, it seems like people either love it or hate it. You might want to customize this more. We actually have red. Is that red onion? It looks like red onion. Yep, that's red onion. So gonna have a little spicier quality here. Should we just go for it?
I don't quite know how to describe it, but it's more refined. Like, not, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
I do.
It's not.
There's
Better,
a little
it's
more
not worse.
attention to detail, I think. Would you agree? Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, they took more time to put their own spin on a Cudighi, I feel like, is what I'm trying
Which
to
some
say.
people may or may not like that. I feel like a lot of people who order Cudighi want just a classic Cudighi without any frills, but I mean, this doesn't have anything too weird on it. Just the green addition of the green pepper. When I've had both of these in the past, so I'm not completely unbiased here. I do like to order this one with jalapenos on it. I'm a spicy fan. Um, they're both very good, but I would say the majority of the time I'd probably gravitate toward this one. It's just got that little extra, I don't know, something that makes it stand out a little bit.
If I was gonna go sit down and eat at Cudighi, I'd probably take Teal Lake. If I was gonna go pick up Cudighi and bring it to camp, I'd probably get a Lawry's.
That's a great way of describing it. I would agree with that. If I'm going either sit down in the restaurant or maybe just bringing something home, I might do this. But if I'm going out to camp, I'm probably gonna get the Lawry's. It helps that Lawry's has multiple locations too. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna give this a number. So I'm gonna if the Lawry's is an 8, I'm gonna give this one a 9.5. Like it's approaching a perfect Cudighi. The only thing is, and this is personal preference, I would like the meat to be spicier. Which, if I remember right, Ralph's does theirs a little spicier, and I think you can specifically order a spicier one. It's pretty sweet, the meat is. Probably even sweeter than the Lawry's. So, it's very good though. I just would like it spicier.
I won't give it a number. I'll say it's like if you go out to get a cheeseburger and you find out they like put banana peppers on there or something really unique. It's not bad. It's actually something you might start doing more often, but you don't typically get that.
Well, and like you said, there's a little more. It's a little more refined. Like the bun, it looks like they grilled a little bit. There's like some Italian herbs on top. Just a little more detail in it, which gives it, it makes it a little more interesting to eat, I think.
I sent Steven a quote earlier about criticizing food from Ratatouille.
Is that what that was from?
Antonigo.
Oh, great.
He knows what he was talking about, though.
So do we have a winner here for
No.
this round?
I don't like to play favorites.
Well, this isn't playing favorites. It's just off the cuff. Like, which one would you? I mean, we already talked about this. Different contexts, but what do you think?
What?
Well, we gotta pick a winner. Or this isn't Barney.
I'm gonna take the Barney approach.
Okay, I'm gonna say the Teal Lake takes it, but Kyle's gonna call it a toss up, so that's fine with me. Yeah, I think in the future I do want to check out some other ones. Definitely Congress in Ishpeming because they've been doing it a long time. Ralph's Deli in Ishpeming, they've also been doing it a long time. They've been closed for remodeling, and there's like a marijuana dispensary that's been coming in as well into the same building, and they haven't reopened yet, so I don't know what the story is there. And then Tino's downtown Nagani. Just because Congress is kind of Ishpeming's long-time go-to pizza spot, and then Tino's has kind of been Nagani's. There's some other ones. There's the Venice in Ishpeming we could check out. I don't know if Jackson's Pit makes one in Nagani. That'd be interesting because they're primarily a burger joint, but be another thing. We could do all kinds of food reviews on here.
Yeah,
Maybe we have to be harsher though.
maybe.
All right. What else did I have wrote down for today? So, you want to talk about the weather? I'm serious.
Sure.
Okay. So, if you don't live in the UP, maybe you were unaware of this, but this past week, some areas of the UP got close to 2 feet of snow, which getting snow in October is not unusual. Even 2 years ago, we got, um, I don't know, probably 6 inches before the end of October, and then it all melted and, had a warm start to November, and then it came back again. Just that transitional time is always kind of weird, just like early May. That happens in early May sometimes too. So Nagani actually was on the Today Show a few days ago. They had a reporter downtown. Um, what's the road? They were just over from Iron Street, I think. Anyway, they had a reporter out there pretty early in the morning, and just kind of saying, "Hey, look at this crazy snow. It's October." And the National Weather Service did set a new record for that date.
I guess the weird thing about getting this much snow in this scenario is that I would consider it the first snow of the season, arguably the second. I haven't really seen it snowing too much lately until this week, and just really got dumped on. Typically you'd get some snow, but it'd be a smaller amount, and you kind of work your way up. By the time late November or December hits, that's where you're really starting to pile the snow.
And the big deal with this storm was that coastal areas along Lake Superior got rain and high winds, but even though we're only, in a straight line, we're less than 10 miles from the lakeshore, but we're also about 1,000 feet higher in elevation. So, just it ended up being lake effect snow from just the winds coming straight out of the northwest off that lake. The other thing was the temperature for the storm was hovering like right around the freezing mark. So some areas got rain, and if you got just a degree or two colder, it was very, very wet, heavy snow. I'm looking out into my backyard right now, and it's still completely white. But tomorrow is supposed to be in the mid 50s, and then the weekend getting up into the 60s. So that's nice. It's I would not want there to be permanent snow from the middle of October onward.
I drove from Houghton to Nagani today, and just south of Lawrence, it's like flipping a switch. There's no snow, and then all of a sudden there's sizable banks.
Yeah. I bet Three Lakes area had quite a bit. Yeah. Yeah, the storm, well, the highest snowfall totals were kind of centered around the border between Marquette and Baraga counties. So that's pretty high terrain there. It's actually, we were talking, that's where Craig Lake State Park is. But the Huron Mountains, and then that kind of western Marquette County, eastern Baraga County, they kind of always get, the most lake effect. Just being that little bit of extra elevation seems to do the trick, and getting that rain that chains over to snow. So, anything interesting we have upcoming, or that you have upcoming?
No. Well, I can think about it, but
Well, we're kind of in a awkward season. Fishing's winding down. For most people, quit fishing a long time ago. I'm still holding out, and I'm gonna try to get one more brook trout outing in here, hopefully tomorrow. Just because the weather's gonna be a little bit nicer, and I'll probably put those away and start cleaning up the ice fishing stuff. Deer season is a go if you're a bow hunter, which neither of us are yet. Maybe in the future. You gonna kind of wait for things to melt off before you go back out and look for birds again, or would you go out with still snow on the ground? What do you think?
I would go out with snow on the ground. I don't know if I'd go hiking through what's in your backyard right now.
Well, that's the thing, is it would make it tough. And some of those roads are probably a bit muddy too. Although I imagine a lot of them have melted off already. A lot of the hard surfaces seem to melt off pretty fast.
Like I said, if you went up north far enough, you'd be able to find spots with no snow at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, in the city of Marquette, even parts of Marquette Township, further down the highway, have nothing right now. There's a couple banks, but otherwise, some of the businesses had green grass outside still. And the interesting thing is there's still lots of leaves. There's a lot of foliage left. Which is surprising with how windy it was. We had some pretty strong gusts this week with this storm. But yeah, kind of a transition season. Sort of waiting for fishing to wind down and deer season to start up. So, all right. Well, with that, I guess the last thing I'll throw out there. I'm not gonna say too much yet, but have some interesting interviews lined up here for the podcast. So look for those soonish. We'll likely be doing that as a Zoom recording, which isn't, obviously not as personal as sitting here in my basement, but it makes it a whole lot more convenient, and so we'll be doing that. Looking for interesting people from the UP and elsewhere. Interesting people who do cool things. Is that too vague? Too broad?
I think that covers all our viewers.
Probably. Anything else you have?
Nope.
Okay. This has been Saturday Sauna Night. I'm Steve.
I'm Kyle.
Thank you for listening.